Kenya is keen on retaining Uganda as a partner in the multi-billion standard gauge railway project set to be extended to Kisumu. This after Uganda appeared to relax its commitment towards the project. Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni, who jetted in the country yesterday and held talks with President Uhuru Kenyatta and Deputy William Ruto at State House, however, remained non-committal on whether Uganda is still keen on the project. The SGR will serve Uganda from Kisumu through the ports of Jinja, Masaka and Entebbe. Well, good morning. It is now a minute past 10 a.m. here in Nairobi, Kenya. A look at the latest news making headlines on News Center. My name is Michelle Ngele. And we begin in Kisumu, where at least 4 people have died in a dawn fire in Kondele. The fire is said to have begun in one of the lodgings around 4 a.m. this morning. Victims are believed to have been trapped owing to the lack of emergency exits at the premises. The owners of the premises were not available to talk to our crew, having just escaped from irate locals. The cause of the fire is yet to be established. All right, let's now speak to our reporter, Kevin Ogutu, joining us live from Kisumu. I understand it was the Dream City Club, Kevin, that went down in flames. What more can you tell us?
Well, Michelle, it was quite an unfortunate morning in Kondele in Kisumu as Dreamland Bar and Lodging caught fire at dawn. But unfortunately, it has not yet been clear the cause of the fire, but the information that we got is that the bar, which also has got some lodging rooms, restrooms, that is guest rooms, houses about 15, has about 15 doors. And at around 4 a.m. at dawn, the fire, which its cause is yet to be established, raised down part of the building. And we were able to see 2 bodies being actually removed from that fire as the fire brigade tried to extinguish it. But reports that we got from eyewitnesses who were there earlier, they told us that about 4 bodies had been found already. So it's unfortunate that we could not verify that, but they were also told us that there are about 4 bodies also trapped. So that comes to about a figure of 10. But what we were able to see so far were 2 bodies being removed, and we were told that 4 were also trapped. So bringing the figure to about 6. So it's a story that we are following on because we are also yet to get statement from police officers. They've not been able to be reached because they also want the rescue mission to be concluded before they can give a comprehensive statement. That's what we have right now from Kisumu. And just as part of the information, this particular guest room, bar and lodging is located along Kondele-Kisumu Road. So it's just part of a series of entertainment joints in Kondele area in Kisumu.
Okay, just before I let you go, there were fears that there may have been more people trapped inside the club. Do you have any more information with regard to that?
Yes, by the time we left there were more people trapped. And this is the information that we also got from the eyewitnesses. But they were trying to access that place after the fire brigade had done their part and extinguished the fire. Though they say that the response was a bit late because the fire machine came a bit late, so which probably contributed to the deaths that we had that have been reported so far. So it is true that by the time we left that place, because this is a story we are still following up on, there were still either bodies or those who are dead already trapped in there because there's a lot of fire in. So most probably they were deceased if at all there was somebody else. But we'll be giving you updates as we get them.
All right, and finally, Kevin, what is the state of the fire as we speak? Have firefighters managed to put out the fire?
Okay, by the time we left, the fire had been put off, though we just had some smokes spattered across, but the blazing fire had been put off. So, as I mentioned earlier on, there was a bit of a hitch when it came to response, which some of the witnesses told us. But by the time we got to the scene, actually, the firemen were doing their work, trying to put off the fire. So we were there for quite some time until they were actually done with extinguishing the flames.
All right, many thanks. That is a Kevin Oguto, reporter, joining us live from Kisumu. An update there on the fire that has claimed 4 lives this morning at Kondele-Kisumu. Rescue operations still going on. We'll update you on the same as and when it develops. Now, President Yoweri Museveni has reassured Kenya of Uganda's commitment towards the Standard Gauge Railway project, assuring the line will reach the border with Kenya. Museveni made the remarks following bilateral talks with his host, President Uhuru Kenyatta, State House, Nairobi on Tuesday. Uhuru and Museveni hailed the strong bilateral relations between Kenya and Uganda, committing to work to strengthen the ties even further.
Kaitabon. Yes. Asante sana. That is the language of Mount Elgon.
Of Mount Elgon.
Meanwhile, former Rwanda Prosecutor General Martin Ngoga was elected Speaker of the East African Legislative Assembly after garnering 33 votes out of the 36 votes cast in the exercise in Arusha. Our reporter Eugene Nangwe got a chance to interview the Rwandan Minister for Foreign Affairs, Cooperation and the East African Community on the sidelines of the Assembly in Arusha, Tanzania. Let's listen in.
Allegations or the accusations that were happening on the floor of the House today, of course, was when there was a suggestion that the Council of Ministers was actually suggesting that the matter, as far as the stalemate during that particular time is concerned, to be referred to the Heads of State Summit. I'm here with the Honorable Olivier. Just as a person who is representing Rwanda as far as the ministers of EAC is concerned, as the Council of Ministers, what do you say about that accusation that you are trying to actually hijack the, the duties of EALA?
Thank you. First of all, I was in a meeting of an extraordinary Council of Ministers this morning, and no decision was taken to submit this matter to the summit. I was in the meeting, and there was no consensus on these issues. We discussed about how to convey our message to the public and to the Assembly, and what we agreed on is to describe the position of each country, Burundi and Tanzania, and to see how the EALA can solve the issue. But no decision was taken. I requested the floor on several occasions to make that clarification, and unfortunately I didn't have that opportunity.
You didn't get the chance. Now, as we end this debacle, which has actually taken 2 days, some people from certain quarters have said that what happened here, as far as the speakership election is concerned, the stalemate that we saw for about 1.5 days, was the disagreements between Rwanda and Burundi playing on the floor of the House. Is this what you also read?
Actually, the treaty and the rule of procedure are very clear. There is a principle of rotation, the speakership by rotation. And so far, 3 countries had had a chance, the opportunity to lead this institution: Tanzania first, and Kenya, and Uganda. And then we, the 3 remaining countries, Rwanda, Burundi, and South Sudan, were the ones initially to be eligible.
Yes.
Eligible. But then you had another candidature, which complicated the matter. And then there is another issue, another principle, that we have Burundi already having the Secretary General of the executive branch, the Secretariat. And Burundi wanted to also have a Burundian being Speaker of the legislative branch, which has oversight on the Secretariat, and this was raised by a number of EALA members, and it's not it doesn't give the right image of our community to the public.
Right.
So, but I think we had a good election. Honorable Martin Ngoga was well elected, and we believe that he will do a good job. Right. First, also by trying to reach out to those members who were not present today.
And the county government of Elgeyo Marakwet has initiated a program that will see reformed alcohol brewers engage in meaningful development. The program, undertaken in collaboration with Ukweli Training Center in Eldoret, will see reformed individuals involved in income-generating ventures like agroforestry, poultry keeping, livestock rearing and baking, among others. Elgeyo Marakwet Governor Alex Tolgos has promised to relentlessly deal with the issue of illicit brew in the county.
Hata kuunda keki, imagine mama mwenye alikuwa anaunda pombe kama mimi, nijue kuunda keki, sio ni maajabu. Hata tungekuwa na nafasi nzuri, tungekuja kuunda keki hapa, tukate mukiona. Sisi wa mama wenye tulikuwa tumeserenda. Mrs. Chepsat akatufundisha kuunda keki na vitu zingine vizuri ambayo watoto wetu sasa wanafurahi wanakula. Nilikuwa nimeingia kwa mtungi. Nilikuwa nimepotea kabisa kwa mtungi. Tangu 1980, wakati nilioleka, nilikwenda kusika mtungi. Ng'ombe yangu ilikuwa mtungi. Na nilianza kulea watoto yangu na kwa bombe. Tangu siku hiyo, nilikuwa nimeteseka, kuteseka. Mimi nitumebikana na wagana chiefs, hata mapolisi. Hata kuna kijana mmoja mwenye alikuwa anaingia kazi polisi. Akakuja kwangu. Akanikuta niko na bombe ile nimetengeneza, niko na nyumba ya kona. Ile nimeweka mtungi yote ndani ya nyumba. Sikuchimba chini. Nimepanga kutokea Monday mpaka kazi yangu tu ni kuendelea kutengeneza. Pusa ndio hapo. Changa ndio hapo. Enyewe nilikuwa notorious. Jina yangu ilikuwa kwa dio. Nilikuwa terrorist sana. Katika village inaitwa Kapsergo. Hakuna hata mwanaume tunapigana. Kufika kopi sikuogopi. Mimi naunda pombe najua jenye nafanya. Usiwezi hata kiruwa kingine alikuwa na shida na mimi sana. Mpaka nikaambia siku nyingine kama yeye ni mwerevu kata mimi zingo. Alafu nisikusumbue sana. Na hapo aliniona tu wakaniambia kimoja sijui nitakufanyia nini. Nikamwambia hakuna nini pombe tu sababu ya watoto. Mheshimiwa nilikuwa na shida ya watoto. Yaani masomo ilikuwa inanisumbua sana. Shule ilikuwa kwa kichwa changu. Hata ukiongea mimi nasema watoto yangu lazima wasome. Nilale msituni, niunde chang'aa, niunde pusa. Lakini kumbe sikuwa najua kuna kitu kingine ya kufanya.
Hawa mama ni wenye walikuwa breweries ile fire safe. Walikuwa watengenezaji wa pombe sore. Hata siku tano naweza kwenda mpaka nakuja kwa watu kama hii. Nashukuru Mungu sana.
From 2008 to 2013 tumekuwa tukiona vile tunaweza shirikiana. Na mimi nakumbuka wakati nilisema napigana na pombe, pia mimi nilipigwa vita ile kali. Sometimes in social media watu walikuwa nasema when other counties wanajenga barabara, wanafanya maendeleo, Governor Elgeyo Marakwet anawatea tu mambo ya pombe. But I'm sure if they are here today to see the testimonies kutoka wale wa mama. Because development cannot happen when people are still engaging in drinking na kunywa pombe from morning to evening. We also want to appreciate Nagada kwa sababu alitusaidia kuja kusimama na sisi. Na pia County Assembly kwa kuweka ile sheria ambayo ilitusaidia kwa mambo ya kukabiliana na pombe.
Residents of Garissa have been challenged to take part in public participation to ensure that they are part and parcel of programs and projects to be undertaken by the county government. Speaking during a public participation forum on County Integrated Development Plan, Garissa CEC for Trade Ado Jubat said many of the projects and programs undertaken by the previous administration either failed to take off, were never implemented or abandoned midway after members of the public were not involved.
From previous mistakes that where people are not involved in their planning, it really becomes difficult to implement projects. Sometimes it gives us headache because we have learned that we have implemented a lot of in the previous government. We implemented projects which are of no use to the people. We are not blaming the previous administration for anything.
All over the world has been that people cannot develop unless they are the ones who own those projects by identifying their felt needs, participating in the implementation, and that's the only way development can be sustainable. That is the lessons that have been learned globally, and this is what we have borrowed for us to do our county integrated development plan in line with the Kenya's 2030 vision and the sustainable development goals. And our executive puts a lot of emphasis in public participation. And for the first time in Garissa County, we have appointed a chief officer who will take a lead role in public participation.
West Pokot Governor Professor John Lonyengapuo has warned county officers against corruption, saying those found looting will spend the rest of their lives in prison. Speaking during the swearing-in event of the county chief officers, he said he will not hesitate to sack non-performing officers and those who violate the constitution, as he will not accept officers who want to derail his development agenda. During the ceremony, 20 chief officers took oath of office.
Wanafikiri ni yao na wajui serikali iko na macho. Baada ya mwaka 10 saa ile mtu anafunika wewe ameenda, inafunguka ile utashangaa. So mali ya umma ni mali ya umma. Pili, mimi nimekuwa nikifanya kazi na sisi ni oversight yenu na watu ya policy. Wale watu watakana kulala saa hii na wanakaa ofisi, sio kutangatanga. Ni chief officer atuambie anafanya project planning yake, plan haraka. Sasa hii pesa imekuja, nafikiri leo imeingia ya kwanza ama kesho. Tunataka kwenda barabara, so wote barabara mimi nakutana nao leo jioni hapa. Hakuna wanatoa hivi vitu. Hiyo wanafaa wote barabara wawili. Karamunya na Kodomok sauri yenu. Leo hiyo out, mimi naenda na nyinyi kukaa chini kuuliza mambo inaendeleaje na lugha ya bilioni. Kwa sababu Alhamisi mimi nataka kulonj barabara yote kila sub county, nitatumia helicopter na mwenye ataka kujinyonga ajinyonge.
Tanzanian President Dr. John Pombe Magufuli has been endorsed as the ruling Chama cha Mapinduzi's national chairman until 2022. Magufuli was endorsed at the CCM 9th Congress in Dodoma. Zanzibar President Mohamed Chain was endorsed as the vice chairman for the Zanzibar Archipelago, while Philip Mangula was picked as the vice chairman for Tanzania mainland. The Congress also retained Abdul Rahman Kinana as the party secretary general. Another news, Brigadier Paul Lokech is the new contingent commander of the Uganda People's Defense Force, UPDF, serving under the African Union mission in Somalia. Brigadier Lokech succeeds Brigadier Kayanja Muhanga, who has completed his tour of duty, having served as contingent commander for the past 1 year. This will be Brigadier Lokech's second tour of duty in Somalia, having served in the same capacity in 2011-2012. The handover ceremony held in the Somali capital, Mogadishu, on Tuesday was witnessed by Major General Peter Elwelu, the UPDF commander of land forces. Speaking at the function, Elwelu hailed Muhanga and his team for a job well done, urging the incoming contingent commander to focus on building the capacity of the Somali National Security Forces ahead of AMISOM's exit from the country.
You need to focus on the Somali National Security Forces. For it is only the Somalis who can bring everlasting peace and stability in this country. Nobody else can achieve that, however powerful you may be. As UPDF, we have made our contribution. We have made extraordinary sacrifices. And surely, to me, we have accomplished our mission of creating an enabling environment for the Somalis to liberate their country. We need, therefore, to focus more on getting the Somalis do their part. They need to lead the process. You need to get them moving forward. For the situation now dictates that the Somalis must really lead this process. They must own the process.
South Sudanese refugees living in Uganda prepare for the Christmas holidays by holding the first ever Refugee Christmas market in the country, selling and exhibiting a variety of art, crafts and jewelry made through various refugee programs. Kenaseka with more details.
It is the festive season, and keeping with the Christmas theme, refugees living in Uganda got a chance to showcase various collections of art at the first Christmas refugee market held in Kampala. The refugees, who have been trained in various skills ranging from painting, basket weaving to jewelry making and furniture design, come from different groups based in various camps and in the capital, Kampala. The two-day event targeted Christmas shoppers ahead of the holiday season, encouraging people to purchase a range of gifts for their loved ones and promote refugees in the process.
Uganda welcomes refugees, and as a Ugandan, I welcome them. Because as human beings, we're supposed to support our brothers and sisters, irrespective of where they are. So it's good to extend a good hand to a brother or a sister from another country.
What I picked out, I bought the bag. It's bright. It's African print. I like that it's, for me, this can be a multi-purpose bag. I'm a lady. I can use it as a handbag. I can use it in many ways. So that's why I picked it out.
Many refugees in the country have found sanctuary here from South Sudan's civil war. Over 1 million South Sudanese refugees now live in Uganda, seeking a haven from the civil war back home. Refugees in the country are being pushed to start smart business and become self-reliant.
This market anyway can help me to pay my children from school, even buying uniform, shoes, and everything. Even Christmas is here coming for buying everything here in the family.
This market can make my Christmas better because some of my product was bought. That little money I have, I think I will spend with this Christmas.
The fair was organized by the UNHCR and other partners. It is hoped that the market will also improve the relationships between the refugees and the host communities and help them become more productive.
Try to find every opportunity to promote refugees. So we thought it was a good idea because refugees both in Kampala and out in the settlements, they have livelihood groups. We train them, we give them skills, and they produce wonderful things like you have seen here today. So we thought we could take this opportunity, being Christmas season, to promote them. So we organized this first refugee Christmas market where we have brought refugees from the settlements and refugees from Kampala.
Organizers plan to hold the market annually in future and include more products to help support refugees living in Uganda. Kenaseka, KTN News.
The UN High Commissioner for Refugees, Filippo Grandi, has said Somali refugees in Kenya are free to choose whether to go home. This is despite many families saying debts accumulated to feed their children after cuts in rations are forcing them to return to a war zone. In October, a funding crisis forced the UN World Food Programme to cut basic food rations and cash in Dadaab, housing nearly 240,000 refugees by 50%. Parts of Somalia, like Kismayo in the south, have become more stable since regional administrations emerged in the last 5 years and the African Union peacekeepers clawed back territory from Islamic Al-Shabaab insurgents. But parts of southern and central Somalia remain under this wave of insurgents, while also mounting larger and more deadly bomb attacks in the Somali capital. The United Nations launched the repatriation program in December 2014. Since then, nearly 75,000 Somalis have left Dadaab, including 32,000 this year.
Give up on Dadaab now. This camp, the population, the people of this camp continue to need help, even if there are some possibilities of repatriation. Many people don't want to take those opportunities now. They should be free not to take those opportunities and to continue to be protected and assisted here. I think we have learned a lesson here over the past 25 years. This model of having refugees closed in a closed camp in an area that has needs by itself is not a good model. We need to think otherwise. We need to think in the future, as we're doing in Kalobeye, the other side of Kenya, for the South Sudanese, into more open solutions where people have access to services and to the economy, and we reinforce those services as opposed to creating a whole parallel system for the refugees. Because that parallel system which we have here shows its weaknesses, especially after 25, 30 years.
That's all we have for your news center this morning. Many thanks for watching. More news coming up at the top of the hour with my colleague Nick Wambua on Leo Mashinani. Good morning. My name is Michelle Gale.
This is KTN News.